Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark and Sarah. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
And today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. Also brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it. At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We have a full studio today. We're talking Wishes in the Valley with Mike Mathieu from Neokraft Signs. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, Mark. Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Larry Roy, formerly of Dad's Place. How you doing, Larry?
Wonderful, thank you.
Excellent. A lot of people don't know because
It's out there.
it's out there, but nothing's really changed.
Right.
Yeah. So Larry is freshly retired and loving it. And in just a few moments, we'll be joined by Pat's Pizza's Dave Bishop. And all three of these gentlemen are involved with the Wishes in the Valley fundraiser, which is happening on August 9th at Lost Valley. We're going to be talking about that and a whole lot more coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Wednesday, May 28th.
The Sun-Journal reports that an Auburn intersection where a fatal crash occurred earlier this month is among the most dangerous in Maine. The intersection at Washington Street and Danville Corner and Beach Hill Roads holds the top spot on a state database that ranks the likelihood of crashes resulting in fatal or serious injuries.
The Maine House of Representatives voted 118 to 26 in favor of a plan that would replace an abandoned rail line connecting Auburn and Portland with a multi-use trail. Those in favor say it would provide a safe and healthy alternative for cyclists and pedestrians. Opponents said it would cost approximately $1 million per mile to complete.
That's a lot.
I agree.
That's a lot. Gee whiz.
That from our finance department.
I know. This just in, $1 million a mile is a lot of money. Maine's congressional delegation urged the Trump administration to reverse its decision to freeze nearly $35 million of federal funds designed to close the digital divide between rural and urban communities in the state. The funding, part of the Digital Equity Act program, was approved by Congress through the bipartisan infrastructure law in 2021.
And the first Art Walk LA of the season will take place on Friday. The event fosters community and celebrates the vitality of Lewiston, Auburn by turning the downtown into a bustling arts district on the final Friday of each month from May to September. You can learn more at laarts.org.
Shall we talk about the weather?
We shall.
Rain or shine, it's all okay. Grab your uke and start the day. Clouds may come or skies turn blue. Weather's fun with me and you. The sun is bright and storms may brew. Every day's a brand new view. You don't need perfect skies above. Hey, just a song and a little love. There it is.
I just wish I had video.
I know.
On Larry.
I was trying to picture
I was very happy to hear the weather song.
He was bebopping along with it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's something.
It is something.
It's something. But the weather's nice. Hey?
Finally.
The weather's nice, sunny today with a high of 80 and a low of 51. Heck yeah. Cloudy tomorrow with afternoon showers. We'll have a high around 67 and a low of 54. And then a mixture of sun and clouds on Friday with some evening showers. High temps will be in the mid-70s.
In sports, the Red Sox took a one-run lead into the ninth inning and lost in spectacular fashion to the Milwaukee Brewers. Aroldis Chapman blew the save by giving up the tying run in the ninth, and then not to be outdone, Liam Hendricks came in and gave up a grand slam in the 10th. The Brewers won 5-1. The Sox have lost 4 in a row. They'll go for 5 this afternoon at 1 p.m.
I love how spectacularly written that sports section was.
Thank you. You know, I would call the 2025 Red Sox a dumpster fire, but that would be an insult to dumpsters and fires.
Can we call them a hodgepodge of nothingness?
You certainly can. That's fitting.
Okay. Well, the Maine Mayhem are not, and they are going to be visiting the New York Knockout on Saturday night. If you haven't seen them, that's the Women's Football League here in the state, and they're pretty amazing.
They are, and they're going to be featured in the summer issue of LA Metro Magazine.
That's so cool.
So keep an eye out for that.
Very cool.
That's your news, weather, and sports. And right now it's time for the podcast segment that is Sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays. Get ready for this one, Larry.
Buckle up here, famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. You like that one, huh?
I do. I like the other one better.
You like the weather one better?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It's more substance.
Yeah.
In the weather one, I think.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Dave's here, everybody.
Dave Bishop's just arrived.
How you doing, Dave?
Just in time
Morning,
for
Dave.
famous
Morning,
people
Dave.
birthdays.
Morning, Dave.
Dave.
Let's take a look at FPBs for May the 28th, shall we?
Okey doke.
We're going to start off with Kylie Minogue,
Oh.
who's 57 years old today. She's from Australia, and she was dubbed the Princess of Pop.
Aw.
Her big hit was the Locomotion.
Do the locomotion.
Yeah, that one. All right.
That was a remake, though, wasn't
It
it?
sure was. Yeah.
Good to get popular off other people's work.
It sure is. That's what the owners of Dad's Place are doing. Actor Krista Miller is 61 years old today. She was on Scrubs and the Drew Carey Show. Does anyone remember her? I think she played Drew's girlfriend, maybe. I don't know. All right, look, it's a light day for FPBs. Until now, John Fogerty,
There it is.
80 years old today. One of the greatest American singers, songwriter, and guitarists of all time.
Proud Mary, Who'll Stop the Rain, Up and Around the Bend.
So many good ones.
I mean, center field if you love baseball.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Absolute legend.
Oh, yeah.
And rounding out FPBs for May the 28th is legendary singer Gladys Knight of Gladys Knight and the Pips. She is 81 years old today.
Wow.
There you go.
She has 7 Grammy Awards.
Amazing.
Oh, my gosh. I wonder if she would want to hear the weather song.
Do we have, we got some OTDs?
Sure, yeah, why not?
All right.
How about this one? 11 years ago in 2014, the great Maya Angelou died at the age of 86. She is best known for 1969's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It's a great book. 19 years ago in 2006, Barry Bonds hit his 715th home run to pass Babe Ruth on the career home run list. The top 3 are Bonds with 762, Hank Aaron with 755, and then the Babe with 714.
Or if you're a baseball fan, you have Hank Aaron with 755 and then the Babe with 714.
There was an asterisk on that one, right?
There sure is.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Was it the drugs?
It could be the drugs.
All right,
Could
fair
have been
enough.
the drugs.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know. Is your head supposed to double in size when you reach your late 30s? I've never seen it happen before.
Never, I don't know.
know.
I don't know. 49 years ago in 1976, the Allman Brothers Band split up after Greg Allman testified against his road manager, Scooter Herring, who was charged with drug trafficking. Herring got 75 years in prison, and the group got back together 2 years later.
That'll teach him for trusting a guy named Scooter,
I know.
right?
And lastly, 68 years ago in 1957, National League Club owners voted to let the Brooklyn Dodgers move to L.A. and let the New York Giants move to San Francisco. The Mets were founded 5 years later to fill the National League void left in New York.
That's right. And then they signed Juan Soto for $750 million, and they're going to be regretting it for the next 12 years.
That's your OTDs.
Those are your FPBs and OTDs for May the 28th.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Now we shift focus fully to our guests in studio, Larry Roy, Mike Mathieu, and Dave Bishop, talking Wishes in the Valley. Who wants to take this one? What is Wishes in the Valley all about?
So it started, actually, kind of back up a little bit to the summer block party that Jimbo Marston had done. And Pam Ashby and I basically kind of ran through the finish line for Jim with the summer block party. And so that was a great event. That was the one that was held at Max Grill. We took last summer off because I think it took us a year to recoup. And then we decided, we had talked if we were going to do something else. And so it was kind of one of those things that we were basically saying, yeah, we don't know what it's going to be, but we'll do something. Fast forward in December or January, I got together with Pam and we started talking about, hey, let's do something this summer. So we ended up changing the location, kind of changing the dynamic of the event itself, and gearing it more adult-based, and trying to see, what we could do for Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish has been a huge part of my life. I was on the board of directors for 6 years, just termed off, and so it's just a big piece for me. And so we decided to do something different. So this year we approached Lost Valley, and so far they have been absolutely phenomenal working with us. So we're going to do an event at Lost Valley, different format, like again, more adult-based. It's going to be so much fun. Great bands, great activities. And like I said, Lost Valley has just been open arms, and they've been really, really accommodating for us. So I think the venue itself is going to be spectacular.
It's perfect.
Yeah. It's the location. It's far enough away. There's plenty of parking. Far enough away so you're not disturbing neighbors with music and that sort of thing, and plenty of parking. Which near the end of the block party, we were parking people 3/4 of a mile away.
Right.
So it's everything I think is just gonna turn out to be fantastic.
The live music, is it Skosh and Fire in the Hole?
Skosh and Fire in the Hole, who actually did the final summer block party for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I reached out to Steve Grenier from Fire in the Hole. He was right on it from the beginning, basically saying, hey, if you guys ever do anything else, let me know. We're all in. And so we reached out to Steve, and he said, yeah, let me talk to the band, and everything is, everything's coming together. The real cool thing that, a lot of people don't know, Fire in the Hole, their drummer, Jeff, who is going to be, they've got a couple of drummers from what I understand, but the drummer who's playing with them, his name is Jeff, and he actually plays for the band Boston.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
That's cool.
Wow.
So the guy is unbelievably talented,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
He doesn't skip a beat. It's amazing to watch this guy play.
I see what you did there.
Mike's doing air drums right next to me.
Did you get that one, Dave?
Yeah.
Dave, get close. He needs a hi-hat. But
I've got the tambourine.
but yeah, so it's and then obviously Skosh have a fantastic following.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Popular.
and you put the two of them together, and they're friends too, on the outside, which is kind of cool. So you put them together, and it's really neat. One other point too is, if we're talking music stuff, so if anybody was at, the final block party, you witnessed us grant a wish. This kid by the name of Matthew, his wish was to get some musical equipment, but the ultimate piece of his wish, he wanted to perform in front of a live audience. He had never done that. So I had reached out to Steve from Fire in the Hole and on that one, and I asked him, I said, hey, look, we want to grant a wish. He wants to sing. Is that something you guys are willing to, to kind of incorporate in your set? And he said, absolutely. He said, just get me, the songs that he wants to sing, and we'll play. And he had told his band, be prepared, because I've never heard this kid sing. I don't know. I mean, he could be really bad. He could be really good. I have no idea. But just be prepared, because obviously we want this to be a great experience for him. So, if we need to kind of up the music a little bit to make him sound better or whatever, we'll do that. And Matthew came on stage, and nobody from Make-A-Wish had ever heard Matthew play. So we put him up on stage, we give him the guitar and the amps and all that, and then we tell him he's going to sing, and so he was prepared. He was all excited. And they start to sing, they start to play, and he opens his mouth and starts to sing, and it was jaw-dropping.
I remember.
It was jaw-dropping. I mean,
So good.
everybody's looking like, oh, my God, this kid can sing.
Yeah.
And even the band, you look at Steve, and here he is playing guitar, and he looks at his band, and he's like, what the heck's going on here? And it was awesome. Fast forward, 2 years, Matthew will be there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I reached out to, I had a meeting with Make-A-Wish last week, and so I reached out to them, and they reached out to Matthew, and Matthew's going to be there to sing a few songs for us.
Yay.
So, and kind of a side note, Matthew actually has his own band now. Yeah.
That's so
So
cool.
because of this Make-A-Wish, his Make-A-Wish, he actually went on and he's got his own band.
Incredible.
So, but he's going to be there to sing with Fire in the Hole. Steve's all about it, and so that'll be epic. Because if you haven't heard this kid sing, the kid's got lungs. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is.
I love
it. Still gives me goosebumps.
Nice.
It's wicked cool. So
Sarah, was that the year that you were in the dunk tank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No dunk tank this year?
no dunk tank.
Yeah.
No.
So Sarah might
The
go.
dunk tank was broken, and it just kept falling down without anybody.
People were just good. And that's
No, I would just be sitting there with no one around, and I would dump it.
yeah, but you know what? We fixed it after you.
I feel like it was the original dunk tank. Yeah.
Like, wait, Sarah's next. Let's see what happens.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike, can you tell us about your connection to Make-A-Wish Maine and this event?
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. So years ago, I was at a different company then, and I was kind of in charge of some marketing and doing some functions and fundraisers, and we were looking for a new beneficiary, if you will, and I happened to speak to a few people. Larry was not on the board yet, but a couple of my friends, Adam Dunbar, Phil Poirier, who are very much involved with Make-A-Wish for years and years, recommended to me, hey, check it out, see what they're all about. You know, we support them 100%, and if we can answer any questions, be great. So that was 12 to 15 years ago. You know, time flies, but I'm going to say probably closer to 15. Yeah. And my wife and I started getting involved, started doing some different functions, and have become supporters of it ever since. It's just, again, you see a few different things. You meet some of the kids, you hear some of the stories, you see what they go through, and none of this is anything they asked for, nothing the families asked for. You know, it's an unfortunate circumstance with a lot of them. So to see what they go through and see how much Make-A-Wish can really make a difference, it's amazing. So we've been involved ever since. And so when the posse here, Larry, Dave, and Pam, came looking, there was no way I could say no at that point. So I was.
You weren't allowed to say no.
Exactly. Pretty much.
I'm just here to help.
Yeah. Right.
No, guess what, Mike?
Yeah. So, you know, it's sometimes when you do know people, it's good. So there's a lot of people we can reach out to. And that's the thing, too, about this community and the surrounding area. They've always been great supporters of Make-A-Wish. Anybody we ever talk to or ask about it, they're willing. What can we do? How can we help? So it's great. And for those of you who haven't reached out to yet, get ready. The call's coming.
That's right. Yeah. Keep your phone by your side.
That's right.
That's a knock at the door.
Yeah.
Remember me?
Remember?
And Dave, let's hear your story about how you became
Nothing
involved with this
equally
event.
as cool as these two at all. So,
Yeah, but you are.
wow, I mean, not equally as cool. But maybe
Way
a little
cooler.
So I got involved. I went to a breakfast Jimbo invited me to a couple years ago, and I was there, and I was just, Mike was there, and Larry was there, and a lot of people I knew were there, and I just kind of sat in on that. And Pat's, we were involved with the block party a little bit near the end, and you know, just trying to help out that way. But as far as Make-A-Wish goes, I mean, it's an incredible organization, and I mean, how can you go wrong trying to help, you know, people less fortunate than, like, health is a gift. You know, a lot of us take it for granted. Like, to be healthy is a gift from God, you know, and if you're not, and you need some help, and you know, especially with children of Make-A-Wish, if we can help, if I can do anything to make someone else's life a little easier, I'm all about it.
You know, the whole reason, because people are probably going to ask, but the whole reason why the summer block party was kind of put to bed was because that was Jimbo's baby. So Jimbo, who was my best friend, that was his whole thing, and Jim ran the marathon for sure, and we just carried the torch to the finish line for him. So it's kind of how I like to look at it. You know, the second to the last year, Jim was really sick, and so I took it over from Jim, and then brought Pam in to help. And the last year, Jimbo had passed, so we carried the torch for him, and we wanted to make sure that we kind of went out with a bang, and we certainly did. So, kind of a little side note too, but we had granted, I believe the number is 108 wishes total in the history in the 9 years of the block party, and written a check to Make-A-Wish for roughly $750,000 in 9 years. So the really neat piece about this whole thing is that all those wishes, all that money went to kids in the Lewis and Auburn community. So it stays local, which is amazing. And if you talk about Make-A-Wish and you kind of, when you're out and about, you're going to find somebody that either has a child that's a wish, part of a wish family, or you're going to find somebody who knows somebody who is. It's more prevalent than people think. And so that was, we kind of put that to bed. That was Jimbo's legacy. So we kind of put that piece to bed. And like I said, we took a year off, but we had already started talking at that one what we're going to do next. And we've had so many people come up and they're like, so what are you going to do? What are you guys going to do? And,
This is too great of an event. Yeah.
So it really kind of morphed into an animal. It was absolutely incredible. The last one we did the final, I think we had thousands of people there. It was absolutely incredible. And at the end of the event, when we looked out from stage, there was still hundreds of people still in the crowd and dancing and listening to music and just having a great time for a great cause. Yeah, it's just it was something, something really neat. So, Pam and I spent a lot of time together the last year kind of putting this together. I called her my Make-A-Wish wife. We were attached at the hip, for a couple months there at the end trying to, finish everything up. And obviously she's a great partner to work with. So, and she's just as passionate as I am about the organization. So, yeah, so we decided, hey, we're going to do something different. And, let's change it up. Because we didn't want it to be the block party, right. So we kind of changed it up, and this certainly is not a one and done. So we're just kind of starting over.
It's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning,
right?
So inaugural, I guess, right?
That's right.
The inaugural event. So.
Yep. Sarah and I we were part of a Make-A-Wish radiothon on WOXO. I think it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
Yeah, so we got to hear some of the stories. And
they're
they
so
are
sweet.
Heartbreaking and inspirational all at the same time. And a lot of these kids, they aren't looking for Disneyland.
No.
They
It's
just
simple
want
stuff.
simple stuff to help them lead a semi-normal life.
Right.
A fence in their yard or, gaming equipment so that they can be social when they can't actually leave the house.
The one that, the wish that kind of got me hooked, and I think you guys have heard the story too, but the one that got me hooked was, it was a little boy whose dad had a regular job and they lived on a farm, and his dad did a lot of work in the barn. So on the weekend, his dad would be working in the barn. And this child is wheelchair bound. His wish was to have a path to go from his house to the barn so he could spend time with his dad.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
This
so
kid could have
simple.
gone to Hawaii, Disney, whatever, and his wish was literally to spend time with his dad. Yeah.
It's the little things that you don't really think about that every day you could do on, without needing a wish, granted, but it's one of those simple things of just like, this is just a normal everyday thing.
Yeah, and the thing that I see too is it's not just young kids. You can have 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds. I know recently of 2 different wishes granted locally, but one of them was the boy actually asked for a boat so he could fish with his grandfather.
Oh, that's fun.
So he was wished a boat just a couple weeks ago, I believe, was the wish here, and it was right in Lewiston. And his whole idea behind it was so he could fish with his grandfather, who had taught him to fish, but they didn't have a boat. And I always talked about, if they had a boat. So he wished
so
for a boat.
Cute.
It's awesome.
He was, 15 years old, I think, 16 years old.
Nice.
So, it's fantastic to help out there and see that family just so happy that they can all enjoy that, too, for a very long time, hopefully.
Right.
And
these wishes, they do cost money. Is it over $7,000 per wish?
So the average cash cost to a wish now is $8,500.
Okay.
But a typical wish, by the time you do in-kind, you put the cash part and then the in-kind part, because we have a lot of great partners that, will donate wood to build the he shed or the she shed or whatever, and, the backyard playground, that sort of thing. So the average cash cost to a wish is $8,500. The average wish cost is upwards of $12,000, $13,000 and more.
Wow.
So it does take quite a bit, to fund these wishes, and we've got generous partners, in the organization, obviously, and we're looking for generous partners for us as well, so we can fund these wishes locally. So
You must have some sponsors for this event.
we do. One of our big sponsors came back again. He has been huge in the last few years of the block party, Rusty Lantern Markets.
Oh, wow.
a gentleman by the name of John. He's a friend of ours, and I reached out to John. We were at, I think it was the third meeting, very new to what we're going to be doing, and I picked up the phone and I called John, and I said, hey, look, we're doing a thing. And he goes, okay, here we go. And he goes, what do you need? And so I told him what we were doing, and he's like, yep, I'm in. Rusty Lantern Markets came in for a full wish.
Wow.
And they're also sponsoring one of the events that we're doing, and we'll talk about those events, the day of as well. Yeah. And then he's also donated a live auction item of free gas for a year.
Wow.
Oh, he's done that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's wicked popular, right? Because it's,
you never know what the price
everybody's got to gas up.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he's a big part for us too. Lee Automall came in at a full wish, and then, pardon me while I put on my specs.
Yeah, I can relate.
And the main real estate experience they're in as well for a big wish, and then we have the Auburn Firefighters Union came in, Austin Associates, El Pocho's. Valley Beverage, so we're there's certainly people that are jumping in and supporting our event. So we don't have. I told Pam when we started, I said we don't have a goal per se because it's the first one, so we didn't know we don't know where this is gonna how it's gonna run. I have a goal. I had a goal in my head, and I think we're already clicking on it. So
all right.
Wow.
We're hoping it's going to be the same as the block party. The last year of the block party, we actually wrote a check for that one-day event for $188,000.
Wow.
To Make-A-Wish, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
You think you can raise that kind of money in one day? That's why Pam and I just about lived together for 2 months.
You made that happen. Yeah.
But it's just because of this awesome community that everybody just comes in and supports us and to make this happen. So it's sometimes it's the little things, right? It's it doesn't take $10,000. We'll take it,
Right.
But it doesn't take that kind of money to make it happen. It's all the little ones that add up to to make it work. So.
Yeah.
Well, and
Many
donations of items too. If you maybe you can't donate your time or you can't
Right.
donate money, but if you have an auction item that
Right.
you can donate, like you have a small business that makes cribbage boards or stuff like
Right.
that. You guys are all about that sort of thing.
So we're certainly looking for the bigger picture items, the live auction items as well, and but we're also going to do a raffle that day too. So the smaller items we're going to be putting into a raffle. So all the pieces come together and to make it happen.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be awesome. It's coming up quick, August the 9th.
yeah, don't tell me that.
3 to 9 p.m.
You have 2 full months.
at Lost Valley. We're so looking forward to it. Dave, what does it mean to you to live and work in a community like this that throws their support behind an event like this and an organization like Make-A-Wish Maine?
Our town, the people and the business owners and people around here, they're just giving. It's a wonderful thing to live here. I've lived here my whole life, lived in Auburn my whole life, and it's changed a lot from when I was a kid. But I think that now people, maybe I didn't notice it before. The more you get involved, I guess, in the community, the more you see and see what people do and what they're willing to do. And time is a precious commodity, and to get people to give up their free time, because free time isn't free, to do something like this, or to do, a lot of the events that we do around town, but to see, people that I get asked for things all the time, every day, and I will tell you, being on the other side and going to ask is a little tricky. I've reached out to all my friends, like, hey, we're doing this Make-A-Wish thing, what can you do? And I've had great response, Lee Automall, my friend Bill Minke, yep, we'll do a wish, so it's like, those are the things that happen. We're all trying to do good in our hometown, and really that's what it comes down to.
It's a great feeling, when you can see, when you actually, if you've never seen an actual wish granted, and you see that happen, it's inspiring.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
and you can, like Dave said, health is something that we take for granted, and when you see a child get their wish, and you just see the expression on their face. And it's not just for the child, it's for the family too. It's that sense of normalcy, right? So when you see that and you're on the other end and you're seeing that happen, it's you walk away and you just feel better. You're like, wow, we actually helped this kid and we helped the family, and it's just really, really cool. So.
Mike, do you want to add to that? Because like Dave, you're a business owner in this area, you live in this area, and I'm just curious what your take is on that, to live in a community that is so generous.
Well, like Dave and Larry both, I mean, we've all lived here pretty much most of our lives. I lived in, Bangor for a very short time, so I wouldn't even count that. But I've been here. We came back here for a reason. But anyways.
We still like you.
I had to see how the others live. But anyways, no, it's just like Dave says, and as a business owner, it does get tricky because there's a lot of good things out there, a lot of good charities out there, and a lot of different businesses have certain ones they support. Where I was before, and even at Neokraft, we support other things as well. It's just the Make-A-Wish has always hit home, and I think when people realize what it is, where it's going, like Larry says, you see a child get a wish, or you hear about an event right here in the community that you see where your money's going. You send some other things, or you go to a golf tournament, and it's great. And I do 5 or 6 of those a year. I know Dave and I have already done 2 this year.
Yeah.
Great causes, and you see the money. It gets put out there, but you don't see where it actually goes. Yep. You're not seeing what it's, who's benefiting, what have you. When you do the Make-A-Wish, you see that child, you see that family, right where it is. We've got a few pictures in our office as well that over some fundraisers we were able to grant a wish over the years. So we've got 2 different pictures of children in our office that were benefits of fundraising that I was involved in, that our company was involved in. It's a great feeling.
You can't put a price tag on those smiles.
Right. No, absolutely not.
Amazing.
Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com.
So we know live music is coming on August 9th, Skosh and Fire in the Hole, which in itself is just an incredible show.
Yeah, it is.
What else is happening on that day?
Well, I'll take that. Larry, rest. I know you're retired. He's talking about
Can I get a coffee or something?
Larry's experience.
Larry, he's ready for a nap.
Where's his Red Bull?
You're tired now.
And again, he's been involved so many years. It just rolls right off his tongue. I think that he knows what's going on and what's happening. So besides the live music, we do have some food trucks there. We're going to have a couple of good ones on that. The Auburn Exchange Club going to be serving up some burgers and fries and such as well, trying to give Lost Valley a little break, but Lost Valley will have their full kitchen open as well. We're going to have a couple of different events, and these are some sponsorship events too. We're looking if you want to put your name on them. We've got a disc golf hole-in-one challenge that's going on. We've got a cornhole tournament that's happening. You can sign up for that. It's going to be a draw at the time, so you put your name in. Yeah, and I believe there's 2 here in this room going to challenge because Sarah is very good.
I'm not good at cornhole. I'm not good at cornhole.
She used to be.
I thought
I'm not
she was
good at cornhole.
Okay.
I'm not good at cornhole.
Okay. So maybe Sarah will try the bucket golf because that's another challenge that we have.
Probably not good at that either. I'm not. I'm not good at much.
Okay. Well, so that's why you're on the radio.
Yeah, I'm not. Physical activities are hard.
Math is hard.
Math is hard.
Math is very hard.
Physical activities are hard.
And there is, so again, going back to it, there is a sign up for the cornhole tournament. There's a fee, but again, you can win some money out of it. The prizes for different events, that's what we're looking for, some smaller donations. We're trying to build some baskets together for that. We are going to have some live items as well. Chairlift rides will be going on from Lost Valley.
So that's actually really cool if you think about it, right? Yeah. So if you've been to Lost Valley and you've skied, you understand, okay, you take the chairlift to the top, I ski down, yeah. Well, if you've never been, you've always been down there because your kids ski and you never skied, and you're like, I wonder what it's like up there. Well, now's your chance.
It's pretty cool.
Right? So you get to take the chairlift ride up top. We'll have a bar up top.
We'll have a
Ooh.
Yeah, hey.
right. Yeah.
There you
It'll be
go.
a basic bar, I think. No hard liquor or anything, but we're going to have a sponsorship there and have some adult beverages up there as well.
Neat.
Yeah, so it's just kind of neat to, something different.
That's
And,
great.
Yeah.
Come thirsty.
Right. And then we also got commitment yesterday from Splitting Wood in Lewiston, axe throwing. So
neat.
they're going to be on site and donating some to the cause there. And then we've got a
Okay, I
magic
am actually
and-
good at that.
Oh, you good at axe throwing?
I'm good at axe
Oh,
throwing.
boy. Okay.
But only.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah. Is it? Are
Well,
you good at it too?
No, I just don't want to be your enemy.
Oh,
He doesn't want to be your target.
Love you, Sarah.
okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Larry's going to be like your caddy. He's going to hold your axes so he's behind you. Yeah, I think that's a full throw on that.
That looks good. That looks good.
So we actually got Mark's Magic. Mark Valancourt is going to be there as well.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, he does. For those who don't know, he does close-up magic. He'll walk to your table and he'll say, "Hey, you want to see a card trick?" And, sure. And then he does this thing, and it blows your mind. He just walks away. And you're like, "How in the heck did he do that?" It's pretty cool.
He's a wizard.
Yeah.
It's neat. It's really neat.
So,
I
yeah.
wrote an article about him for LA Metro Magazine, and
Yeah.
we went and had dinner at Max, and he did table magic literally across the table from
Right.
me, and I was like, "How the hell did you?" I'm sitting right here watching you the whole time.
The whole time.
Still can't figure out how you did that with an axe.
So yeah, it's crazy to he's just wicked talented.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun to watch him do it too. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, hey,
No, it's
Mark's your guy.
Yeah.
I was going to say Magic Mark, but you did it. Mark's Magic. So
Yeah.
well, that's going to be interesting. It is always fun. You come up to somebody and do a couple of tricks like that, and then you're talking about it for 20 minutes. Everybody's trying to decipher.
Yeah.
Figure out.
That's
Oh, I
right.
know how he. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, you've just poof, disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm over here now.
Yeah, and then we don't know what else if we may add a few other things here and there, but we're trying not to overwhelm as well. There's going to be a lot going on. These people are there to help support the event, so we don't want to take away from too much either. That's why we kind of kept it low on the amount of food trucks. We did have a few people find out afterwards and asked and such, and we apologize maybe next year, but we just wanted to keep it so everybody can enjoy, everybody can make some money, and at the same time, they're all supporting Make-A-Wish and giving money back to that cause as well. So
Right. How are you guys set for volunteers?
Actually, volunteers, we're in a really good position right now. We've got the Maine Real Estate Experience who's basically taking care of the volunteer piece. So apparently everybody in his office is working that day. But yeah, they're all going to be there and taking care of it. And then obviously Lost Valley has a great team.
Awesome.
That their whole team will be there as well. So yeah, so it's really coming together. I think it's just going to be an epic day. And
Yeah. Sounds like it.
yeah, and we're getting, by the way, the weather song. Go ahead, hit it.
Oh, Mark can do it.
There it is.
Rain or shine, it's all okay. Yeah. Grab your uke. Yeah, Larry really likes this one. Clouds may
does.
come.
I'm gonna put it on a CD for him.
Okay. It's fun with
On loop.
The sun is bright and storms may
ordering
up good weather for this day, right?
Well, that's my intro,
Perfect.
right?
Okay.
So,
Hey, just a song and a little. Okay.
are you going to be at the event, Sarah?
I'll come. Yeah.
Oh, bring your ukulele.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting all of our rain now, so
Get it
that
out
way
of
we're
the
going to
way.
get sun then.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
August is you have a decent chance of having a good
Yeah.
sunny day for sure. Yeah.
so. But yeah, it's and the beauty too with Lost Valley is if the weather isn't our friend that day, then we move things indoors. So we certainly have the event space to make it happen. So
I think we're still working on a few things with Lost Valley as far as outdoor camping avable too for people who
Yeah.
don't want to drive
That's a
home that
game
evening.
changer.
yeah, they've got a.
Wow.
They've got a lot that you can put, your RV, camper, what have you, that you can park it on the lot for. It's a nominal fee. I mean, it's really nothing, but they're going to allow that to happen. So,
That's cool.
which
Man.
is really,
Yeah, keeping people safe too.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I know you guys got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? And we're going to have you on a couple more times before the event, but
cool.
just want to throw it out there. If there's anything else you would like our listeners to know before we wrap up.
I would just say real quick again, we're not looking for full wishes from everybody or anybody. If you want to, great. Like Larry says, we'll take it. But every little bit helps. Any organization, if you can't get a hold of Larry, Dave, or myself, there's an email here, I believe, right on the show that they can email questions to and such. And
wishesinthevalley@gmail.com.
there we go.
Yep.
That'd
And
be fantastic.
and then I believe there's something in
The QR code you can scan.
QR code in the digest as well.
Sure.
That they can just kind of click on and
Sign up for the cornhole tournament.
sign up for the cornhole tournament. Reach out, like Mike said, the website. But certainly reach out to us. You know, Dave is at Pat's Pizza, so you can bother him there. You're welcome, Dave.
Stop right in and be like, hey,
And
I'm not running the business or anything.
now, and if you know any of us, or Dave, Mike, or myself, or you know somebody who does, just reach out through them. You know, my phone's always available too. So, but certainly reach out to us, and we'll do what we can to get you set up, and we're always available if you guys are willing to donate. So,
And if anything else, come out August 9th and spend some money with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
have a
hang
great
out.
time.
If nothing else, come out to the event. It's gonna
Yeah,
see, Dave doesn't say a lot, but when he does, it's like epic.
it is. Yeah, I've noticed that about him. He'll sit quietly for a while and then just drop.
save it up.
Zinger.
Yeah, drop it.
Then I forget some of it. Ooh, what was that? I get it right
That's
down.
that's your age, Dave.
Wow. I know. You
Sorry.
Hit 50 and all of a sudden you're like, whoa.
Before we let you guys go, we usually do a segment called 3 Random Questions at the end of the show, as Mike and Dave know. But we'll just ask you one because I know you guys got to head out. And we'll start with Dave. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Don't eat yellow snow.
That's the best.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It is good advice.
Stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out where the huskies go and don't you eat no yellow snow.
There you go.
Every time he sees yellow snow. Not eating that.
Not eating that.
Not even compelled.
Not even in a snow cone.
Mike, what do you got?
I would honestly have to say, just because I had a few seconds to think about it, and it leads to a lot of things, but don't judge a book by its cover. Honestly, in the sales industry and what have you, especially when I was in the welding industry years ago, this guy wanted to buy a $10,000 machine, and I was kind of one suspender buckled and the pants falling, and I said, all right, what do we got? And he pulled out a wad of cash and paid me $10,000 cash right there. So I said, yeah, I'll never judge again. I said, everybody is their own person, and just don't judge until you know them.
Larry, you're up.
Wow.
You have plenty of time.
I had plenty of time. I've just been listening to Mike.
This better be a gem.
He's on Google right
This better change my life.
I don't know if I can do that. You go back to the old adage, right, of, treat other people the way you want to be treated,
Yep.
right? And it's, and you're not always going to be, you may be the fortunate one, but you're not always going to be the fortunate one. And just, treat people kind. And it pays back tenfold. I'm a firm believer of karma.
Yep.
You do good things for people, and good things will return. So, and on the other hand, obviously, if you don't, well, you pay the price, right?
That's right.
So, but I'm a firm believer of that, and just treat people decent, and it will come back and pay you. And was that life changing, Mark?
It was pretty close.
It was pretty close.
Yep.
Mine was,
Was it as close as the yellow snow one?
mine was better.
Dave, you're gonna.
I'm good at this game, though.
Yeah.
What? Not eating yellow snow? That's
No, the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing.
I'm
Yeah,
pro.
Dave's like top 3 on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There was a chart.
Wait,
the sign's gone.
No, it's over here.
Oh.
We had to move it because Sarah almost hurt herself. She had to lean over the.
She had to lean over to right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
it was-
didn't
it
actually.
was the whole
21's
thing.
impressive.
Thanks.
22 today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Wait.
23 if he hit today. Yeah, so it's 20. It was up
the
to.
other button.
It has been an issue, Larry.
Nice. Nice.
That's why there's a sign.
That's
I
right.
have to call you back at 9.
Dave Bishop of Pat's Pizza, Mike Mathieu of Neokraft, and the recently retired Larry Roy, formerly of Dad's Place. Thank you so much for your time
Thanks,
today.
guys.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Much
Enjoy the week.
appreciated. Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Sarah's going to go throw some axes now.
Heck yeah.
Right?
Sarah's my friend.
Maybe go to work. I don't know.
Something like that.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your cat. And I will say I have bitten my cat.